Well, good evening or good morning, depending what part of the world you're from. My name is Clive Branson, and I am a ufologist. When I say I'm a ufologist, I'm really just an amateur. Um, Going back many years ago when I was a youngster, obviously, like most youngsters, we would always look at space travel and we'd look at some of the films and amazing outer space, Star Trek, Star Wars, and so on. And it was all, you know, fueled imagination, I would say, for the youngsters. As you get older, obviously you become a bit more intelligent and you start to analyze things and become more analytical. And to be honest, for many years, I probably never thought too much about UFOs or alien beings or extraordinary phenomena or UFO. Now they call them AUP, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. But anyway, these days it's now becoming very, very prominent in a lot of circles, especially ufologists. The governments are now starting to realize that, yes, there are things that we can't explain. And anyway, it intrigued me so much. Let me explain a little bit about myself. I'm actually a former world fishing champion, and I've got quite a big following on my fishing blogs. I've written a few books, and as I said, ufologists or UFOs intrigued me. And it was going back maybe 30 years ago when two of my friends, very good friends, wouldn't no need to lie, were actually going fishing. And as they were travelling along the motorway down in west of England, they seen what we call a flying saucer, a UFO. Now, it was hovering in the field. It wasn't high in the sky at the time. It was just hovering, and they stopped to look at it. Didn't think much of it. Well, they thought, well, first of all, they thought it may have been a balloon or something like that, because over in the West Country, they do fly a lot of balloons. But it was there. It was orange in colour, glowing. And anyway, they decided, well, they'll move on now when they've stopped and had a look at it. And as they did, it sort of followed them slightly down the motorway. Now, I've spoken to my two friends since, and Ken in particular, he was telling me that he remembers it shooting up in the air and at enormous speeds. Well, anyway, I didn't think, I thought, well, maybe he's hallucinating, but anyway, I spoke to his friend, James, who was with him at the time, and he said the same thing. Of course, it's something that is indulged in their memories for a lifetime. But it got me interested, and then I thought, well, maybe there is something behind it then. Why would they lie? They've no reason to lie. And they're not that sort of type of people, to make stories up. Anyway, as years gone by, it intrigued me, and I started following, in particular, a lot of YouTube channels. Hence, I thought I would do one myself. I call it the Alien Master Plan channel because in my market research, I found, and I believe that there is a plan by beings far superior than us. Now, you might think I'm a bit kooky, some people, but a lot of people who believe in UFOs will probably agree with me that, yes, there are things that cannot be explained as yet. There are even scientists who now have come over to the way of thinking that, yes, we are not alone in this universe and we are being visited on a common basis. Hence, I've also written a book, The Alien Master Plan by Clive Branson. And in this book, it's over 350 pages, and it's basically all the years of my research into if you like, the UFO phenomenon. Now, I started writing this book based on the fact that a couple of my friends had actually witnessed a UFO. Now, I've got quite a big following on Facebook pages and social media pages, and I put it out to people. You know, when you're fishing, sometimes you're secluded, you're on your own in nature, and perhaps one or two may have seen something that, they couldn't quite explain. Well, anyway, of course, as you can imagine, I had lots and lots of people taking the mick out of me, if you like, in not such a fine language. Anyway, then I had a call from somebody who told me his name, and he said that his father witnessed a UFO while he was fishing, and he was scared and he hid. And now this is on the canals in Birmingham, and at the time he kept it quiet, but he told his son about it. But also that evening when he saw this UFO, there was also reported two ladies abducted that evening that couldn't be explained, and it was in the Birmingham evening papers. So it got me thinking more now. So I started, as I said, doing a little bit more digging. I'd written this book. I was writing a book, and I bumped into an elderly lady that lived in the apartments that I lived, and astonishingly, she also believed in UFOs. She proofread my book for me, and she also told me that she and her husband also witnessed a UFO in South Wales in UK, and they reported it. It was a triangle flying object. They reported it, and nobody was interested. The police or the Ministry of Transport or Ministry Air Force, none of them was interested. So she just left it at that. But she did report it, and as I said, it did make one of the front pages of the local South Wales Echo. So there we are. Then I also got talking to another chap, a friend of mine. Now, I was he knew that I have written books in the past, and he was thinking of writing a book. I think it was about poetry. I love poetry of all things. And I explained to him I'm in the throes of writing a book as well. And he asked me, he said, what book? I said, UFOs. And he said that he had witnessed UFOs himself. In fact, 6 other co-workers, when they were working down on the building site in West Wales in Llanelli, they witnessed a mothership up in the sky, and 5 other smaller UFOs coming out of it and flying across the sky in huge speeds. Now, they were looking up, and this lasted, 10 minutes or so, and they were, as you imagine, they were amazed by it. And anyway, based on that, I thought, well, this got to be more to this than meets the eye. So I started to, as I said, write my book, and also I indulge into the darker side of UFOs as well. Now, it's led me down many paths and many rabbit holes, and over the next few weeks, I shall be indulging into these phenomena. I will talk about my book. I will explain certain aspects of where I went down these rabbit holes, and how I come to the conclusion that we are definitely not alone. I think there's a master plan, and I think that all shall be revealed pretty soon. So stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching.